Hey, how y'all doing? This is Mongo Slade, and today we're going to talk about the telenovela of Aaliyah being in love with Murphy. All right, before we get into that, hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and let's talk about this. So, October 30th episode of SmackDown, Aaliyah and Murphy are in the back. Apparently, Aaliyah's already talked to her family about this relationship with Murph. Her mom is actually okay with it. Her mom is quote unquote open minded, which moms tend to be. They always portray moms as being so forgiving and open minded, and dad is obtuse and stubborn. But whatever. It's a storyline. I don't need to get too tight assed about it. So, Murphy, being a stand up guy that he says, I gotta apologize. Gotta apologize in person. And he wants to apologize in person, and they hold hands. And they were holding hands, and I was like, yeah, boy. This feud will never end. Okay, so Murph comes out. Murph calls out Ray and Dominic. Ray and Dominic don't show. He's disappointed. He's begging them to come out there. He really wants to apologize. He really feels bad about what he did. And they still don't show up. They still don't come out there. So Aaliyah's telling him, like, hey, don't worry about it. It's no big deal. And then here comes, Rollins the Redeemer, the savior of SmackDown, the Messiah. He comes to the ring, again, not wearing socks, and again, wearing a blazer with no shirt. And, he cuts this promo about, oh, you'll never be forgiven. They'll never forgive you for what you did. No, they'll never accept this thing that you guys got going on with you and Aaliyah. No, they'll never accept that. And, but I'll accept it. I'll always accept you. I will accept Aaliyah. Because, I understand that Aaliyah, is being talked down to and disrespected by her family. I will treat her right and all that type of stuff, right? And then she says, he calls Dominic dumb or stupid or something like that. So Dominic comes out there and beats up Rollins. And when Rollins starts getting the advantage, Murphy pulls Dominic off, pulls Rollins off Dominic, and then Murphy is beating up Rollins. And then Dominic gets mad. He pushes Murphy or something to that effect. And Murphy starts to kind of push and go back and forth with Dominic. And then here comes Ray, and now everybody's beating up Murphy. And Aaliyah stops Ray from hitting the 619 on Murphy. And now Ray's like, okay, I've had enough of this. That's enough of this nonsense. We're out of here. And Aaliyah's like, no, we're not going. I'm not going. I'm not going. And Ray is he's speaking Spanglish, which is my least favorite language. No, actually it's my second least favorite language. Whatever that shit Oscar speaks, which is Japinglish. That's not good. That's not good. But Spanglish is second, because it's like half stuff I don't understand and half stuff I do. Japanglish I understand almost nothing. So then you have Aaliyah refusing to go with Ray, and Dominic is like, forget this, we're out of here. Forget this, I'm out of here. And then she yells that she loves Murphy. And Ray was stupefied. He's like, "K?" Oh, God. And I was like, I'm back. As much as I hate this storyline that it is still going on, it's this type of corny, cringy shit that inject this corny shit into my veins, baby. I'm all about it. I'm all about it. Bring it on. Bring more. Bring more. How much more you got? And then, as Ray is flattened by that, they started like holding hands, and then Ray's like, no, forget that. Come on, let's go. And then she kisses Murphy, and I overdosed on cringe. I was like, holy shit. And then we get this wonderful picture of Rollins with just goofy look on his face. he's overjoyed at this ruinous picture that we've got going on here. And I was like, oh, I was just like him. Because I was like, only assholes find this to be entertaining. This is being great because it makes so many people uncomfortable. That's why I loved it so much because I know so many people are uncomfortable. That's the beauty of storytelling is you make people feel things. People are upset by this. And yes, I cheated. I looked on Twitter before making this video because I wanted to make sure that I was not wrong. That I was not gonna be like everybody's upset, and then you'd be like, "What? Ain't nobody mad." No, I've seen every post I've seen that's anywhere near positive about this has been ratioed to death. I'm talking people are mad. It's a lot of it is he's 31 and she's 19. There was a lot of that. Then there was a lot of the storylines going on too long, which I get it. I understand that. Hell, I agree with that. This storyline should have been over in August, if we're being honest. But it's still going on. And but I'm here to do analysis, not to talk about what other people are doing. In my opinion, she doesn't really love Murphy. She's doing this to rebel against Ray. Remember, if you've been following this channel for a long time, one of my theories was that Aalyah was going to kind of go rogue, that she was going to be sort of the Stephanie McMahon of the Mysterio family, where they've been treating her like a porcelain doll. She's just been standing there going along with everything, but now she's going to sort of assert herself by being rebellious, and this is kind of where her character has been since they said she was naive a couple of weeks back. About 2 or 3 months ago, I think. Actually, no, 3 months ago would have been what? 3 months ago would have been June, July. Yeah, so maybe about 2 months ago, maybe about a month and a half ago, something like that. Since she really became a fixture into this storyline, it's kind of been because Ray said that she was naive. She doesn't know that much about this world and all this kind of stuff. So she's been out to try to prove herself. And it is very naive to fall in love with a villain. I mean, women do it all the time, okay? Women do it all the time. They love the bad boy. They think they can change them. That's part of their makeup. So it makes sense in that respect. But I think they're going to have Murphy break her heart in a very weird way because him and Dominic keep fighting. Or it's going to end up being she was just using Murphy the whole time and she doesn't really care about him. There's no long-term future in this, okay? There's not going to be, or could they possibly do something silly like continue this for another 3 months and then we get a wedding angle out of it? Like, it's entirely possible. I don't see why they would, but it's entirely possible. But I think that's really where we're going with this. I think we're going to go with this where Aalyah is just using Murphy to rebel against Ray. That, if Ray wasn't so against it, she wouldn't be trying to push it so hard. So I that's what I think. I think it's just basically teenagers acting out. And it's probably going to lead to Dominic turning heel or Dominic striking out on his own. Because we got a lot of beef between Ray and Murphy. Ray, Murphy, and Dominic and all these people. Now, as far as the storyline not ending, I don't know how you end it. Like, outside of Ray getting his comeuppance or Rollins getting his comeuppance from Ray, how do you end this story? You can't just drop everything. I mean, people hate when they drop storylines, right? Like when recently it came out that the Charlie Caruso and Angel Garza flirtation storyline was dropped. And people were like, oh, that sucks. I hate when they just drop things. And now they just want them to just quietly walk away from this. It's like, no, this was a serious angle. Now the kids are involved. So you kind of have to get a clean break. And the only clean break you can have is, like I said before, the Bonnie and Clyde option, where Murphy and Aalyah roll off on their own. And then you just have them break up at some point. Maybe have Aalyah as Murphy's manager, his valet, and that's kind of what you do. That would be interesting. That would be fun, at least for a little while. Because Murphy is a kind of character where he needs something because he doesn't really emote well. He doesn't have a great personality. So he needs something to latch on to in order to bring him to the next level. Rollins was doing a good job of it, but Rollins was controlling him and he wasn't talking and anything like that. So now he has this character who can talk. You know, Aalyah's okay. You know, women always work as far as drawing emotions out of people, which is why I love this storyline so much, because it got people so emotional. And she could make a good valet for Murphy for a little while, and then he maybe cruelly dumps her, and now she can of course get her sympathy back, or she could cruelly dump him, you know, and go back with her family. But at this point in this storyline right now, Ray's being hard-headed. You're not going to turn Ray heel because Ray is the ultimate babyface. And Dominic is just being, you know, an overprotective brother. He's been a bit of a jerk. You can turn him heel, but I don't see why they would. Compared to Murphy, neither one of them are going to turn heel because Murphy has not been redeemed yet. He's been forgiven, but he hasn't been redeemed. Now, there's an interesting storyline here with Rey Mysterio being very religious. You understand what I'm saying? So, being a Catholics, we are dealing with the subject of forgiveness, and we're dealing with which is something of eternal guilt and needing to be forgiven for different things that you've done in your life, and Jesus died for your sins, and stuff like that. So now that's what we're dealing with. The Seth Rollins is sort of being this antichrist, this false Jesus who is willing to forgive, even though him and Rollins had this badass match just last week, well, the week previous to this angle. And, he's willing to forgive Rollins on a dime. I mean, he's willing to forgive Murphy on a dime and accept Aalyah, even though she attacked him. But Aalyah and Murphy have forgiven each other, right? Like, remember, Aalyah caned Murphy, right? So she helped Dominic and her mom and Ray cane Murphy. Murphy helped Rey Mysterio poke out helped Rollins poke out Rey Mysterio's eyeball. So there's forgiveness between the two of them. At least considering that if we consider that this is going to be legitimate for a little while. They have forgiven each other. She did some bad things. He did some bad things. Now they're together. Or at least, form this understanding, this union that Aalyah is pushing for. And Rollins is being forgiving, but he's also being manipulative, and he's being a jerk. But Ray, the head of the household, the godlike figure of the Mysterio family, the man who's supposed to be the closest to God, he is being vengeful. He's being a sinner. Ray's been a bad boy because he's not forgiving. He's not even giving Murphy the opportunity to be forgiving. So this should tell you that there's definitely more to the story than we're letting on. It's going to have to end with eventually Murphy or Rey Mysterio having to forgive Murphy. And it's all it could be about the power of Christianity and all that type of stuff, power of religion, and the religion is very important to the Mysterios. So I can see that being the undertone there of forgiveness and sin and all these different things. I like it. I do think that we need to break this up so that it won't go on so long. But I get it. I get it. I understand it. It's a great telenovela every week. Now this took it to the next level. I'm back in now. Now that Aalyah, I told you I did not want them kissing. I did not want it. But when it did happen, I was like, yeah. I do want this, man. I do want this because now I'm really want to see where it's going to go. And for anybody who might be upset, Aalyah Mysterio takes like bikini pictures and posts them online. She's an adult, okay, and Ray understands that she's an adult. So, and then it's a storyline. Please relax. Everybody who's tight-assed about the whole 31-19, for starters, there's a lot of 19-year-old girls banging 30-year-old guys. That's the first thing. The second thing is it's a storyline. Relax, okay? But let me know what you guys think. I know everybody thinks the storyline should end, but let me know what you guys think about my theories and everything about this storyline. Are you back into it? Are you still ready for it to end? Let me know in the comment section below. Like this video. Subscribe to this channel and donate to the channel if you can. Thank you for your time, and I'll talk to you guys later.